So today we are building Cobblestone Place on the 64 by 64 lot in the world of Windenburg, which came with the Sims 4 get together. This is a great location. I built a couple of castles here previously. If you missed those, check out my channel. I have castle builds from the Castle Estate kit. So yeah, I decided not to build another castle. I attempted to do like a modern castle kind of like mashup kind of thing, and it just wasn't working for me. And I took last weekend off because anything else that I attempted to build just wasn't working. To be honest, it's been so long since I've done a proper house speed build that I was a little rusty. So I've been doing a lot of for rent builds and castles and community lots and things like that. It's been a long time. So it was tough. I was struggling, but I decided rather than force myself to try and like get something to work or build, just take the weekend off. It's cool. Less stress. And then I could actually build something that I'm proud of, happy with how it came out, how it looks, everything like that. So yeah, this is Cobblestone Place. Some details about the lot. Of course, it's 64 by 64. There's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's 98,906 simoleons, and I was not friendly with packs. I used a total of 19 packs to build this house. Just a hodgepodge of, random objects and things like that. So the inspiration for this house was like an ultra modern Scandinavian style house, but I also used the Castle Estate kit's like stonework, which is where it gets the name Cobblestone. Originally this was going to have like a turret, like a portion of the castle, and mix the modern and castle together, but it just doesn't work for me. I don't know. I couldn't get it to do it. It just wasn't looking right. So I don't know. I just couldn't figure it out. I can't really explain it, but yeah. So here we are with this. There's no turret in this house, so there's no castles, no moats, no nothing. Will we return to castles? Absolutely. Now that we have the kit, we definitely will in the future. I do want to still build a castle that is actually a castle, but more modern furnishings for today's world. Maybe not like ultra modern, but still, I do want to tackle that. It's just for some reason I just can't yet. I think every time I think about a castle, I think medieval, and I think The Sims medieval, and I feel like it has to look that way. And then immediately when I start doing like modern style stuff, I just can't get it to blend. I don't know. So as far as this build, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is the gallery listing. So you can go grab this, put it in your game, play in it, and have some fun with Sims. It's a great little house, I think. I really like it. It's very pretty. I built it to be playable, of course, as always, and just to have a very nice, open, ultra-modern feel to it. The floor plan is actually very tricky, or was tricky, I should say, to put together. Mainly the upstairs, and the roofing too was a little bit of a mess, but hey, it works. It's kind of multiple pieces to make it work, but and then figuring out the windows here on the back of the house, because I wanted to use the like taller windows, but with the platform that I used in half of that second floor area, like to bump up to where those bookshelves were, that's also where the entrance would be to this like rooftop deck or balcony. So it was like you could kind of like see underneath it. So it was making it transparent. But now we are venturing outside and we are doing some planter boxes using foundations and the platform tool. You kind of like just sink it down into the foundation to get the cutaway. And we're doing an L-shaped pool that's kind of elevated on a foundation. The house itself does not sit on a foundation, but the pool itself does. It's so great that we actually have that functionality now. Where you can have separate heights for different things in different parts of the lot, so long as they're not connected together. So That's nice. I was just trying to figure out this railing. It was weird because I'm trying to place the railing, but then every time I'd like put the fencing over where the tree box was, it was gonna like remove it and make it flat. So I just kind of had to like work around it so it wouldn't delete the little planter box that I made. Also, you'll notice there is a garage. I took inspiration from the XDX drop house for Winnie Harlow. We'll get to that in a minute, but Maxis actually used these big spa day windows to make it look like an actual garage door. And I thought, oh my God, that's so clever. So we do have a car garage, even though it's non-functional, and there is a car inside. I also, if you have For Rent, which is one of the packs I used, but if you have that, there is a functional hot water heater and a functional electrical panel. So you may or may not have a little bit of challenge with those. I thought it was cool to put the functional ones in for once. And it's cool to have it in the garage. I did not do anything like laundry because most people find that annoying to play with. It's just kind of weird. Sometimes it can be also glitchy. So I had this idea to make a maze out of hedges, but then I realized my hedges were just too big. And yeah, you can use fencing and stuff, but I decided not to go with a maze and just made this like random weird shape. I don't really know what it is. It's not supposed to mean anything at all, but it's just like a pretty garden area. We come back and put some decorative like bushes in there. And I also find this like awning pergola thing in the debug catalog, which was like glass and it had like posts. And I did put like a table out there so you can kind of like relax in this like beautiful little garden. There's also a little bird bath as well. Now we're using some debug fences that have like vines and ivy on them. And that's where a like vegetable garden is going to go. I thought it was great to make use of the entire lot and space. So yeah, that's where we're slotting that in. I was trying to get it to like not stick out of the bushes, but then in the back part it still does anyway, just because of how it lines up. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just not be picky and ignore the building there for a second. I just accidentally grabbed it when I was in debug, and then I was like, whoa, that is not what I wanted. So I did place some of these rocks, which are kind of on the lot and off the lot using move objects. So that's kind of nice. Kind of ties in with the landscaping that surrounds this lot, which I think is important to kind of make a build kind of fit in to its location where it's built. Just finding some more trees, resizing and putting some more trees back here to kind of match the surroundings a little bit more. And for a second there, I just thought I saw like a tent in the woods area there. I don't think it is. I think it's something else, but I don't know. That was a weird little thing. It didn't look like a tent. I don't think it's a tent. I hope nobody's camping out there. We do put a mailbox out front. And then I was going to do this get together like cobblestone, grassy stone. And then I thought, nope, not what I'm looking for. So we do the rough river rock and we make nice curvy paths around the back towards the front of the house. And then I do the same with the driveway. I kind of squared that off first more and then kind of faded it out. We do extend that later though, because when I was looking at the build, like going over like final checks and stuff before I actually share it to the gallery, I'm like, the front needs something. Like the front yard is just so vast and there really wasn't anything towards the front of the lot. I don't know, this lot is just weird. I mean, without like sidewalks and stuff, it's just, I probably could have built it in a better location, but I really do love building in this particular location. And in fact, Windenburg, it's got great lighting, no weird like lots that have weird lighting. At least I've never encountered any. Like it's a great world to build in. It's probably one of my favorites. It's also one of the ones that I also enjoy to play in as well. I don't know. I think it holds a special place in my heart because back in the day when I was doing YouTube a couple of years ago, this was probably one of the first Sims packs get-together that I got invited to EA to actually go like play early and record footage for and share it with my YouTube channel and all that stuff. So that was like a big opportunity for me, and I think that's why it's such like a special pack and just a special world because like, yeah, it's just when I got to, go out to EA's headquarters all the way in California, for a Sims camp. So that was very fun. That was a once in a lifetime experience. Will it happen again? Who knows? Hard to say. They don't seem to do Sims camps anymore, especially since like COVID, at least not that I'm aware of. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, this was one of like a pack that just kind of is a special place. So yeah. So we're working on the inside now. I do swap out the front window. I use these base game windows and kind of stack them on top of each other using move objects to create my own custom window. It does have like weird shading, shadowy issues. But just don't look at it too close. That's all. Like, if you're this height, you're not even going to see it. I also do open the ceiling down to the front door below so we can kind of hang a light. This is just an office space is when I made it. So I thought it was kind of cool to have the office open to below. It's kind of private, but kind of not. Just a kind of unique feature of the build. And now we're going around putting in lights, the little saucers, but I actually take the saucers and I size them down as tiny as they will go. So they look like little specks. And if you get close enough, when I was like furnishing and stuff, like I could see little specks and I actually thought it was something on my monitor. So maybe it's not a good idea to size them down, but I do like the look that it creates without having the big like saucer thing there. So we're now doing some of the finishing touches and furnishing to the build. So we do use this horse ranch stone for the double-sided fireplace. So yeah, there are 2 fireplaces, one on each side. The area by the steps becomes like a little sitting area. And then, of course, you have the fireplace across the room. We use the Home Chef Hustle kit. Yes, kit. No, stuff pack. It's a stuff pack to create this beautiful kitchen. I did a dark blue accent wall and bright white cabinets. I used this shelving unit that already had like clutter and stuff on it. That is from For Rent. So just kind of doing some clutter, but I didn't want to overly clutter it. I did find these like food related items, but then I thought, oh, this is from Dine Out. And then I scrapped it because I didn't want to use Dine Out just for those photos. But yeah, I guess it was still early in the build, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered later on considering I used 19 packs in total. But anyway. So yeah, back to the garage that you keep kind of seeing in the background. So The Sims this past week, which was around, it was actually February 13th or 14th. I think it was the 13th. They released an XDX drop, which is a way that they give you content for free without doing like a full game update or game patch. And so in this particular version, this focused on casts, and it brought the skin details of vitiligo. So that's very cool to have that represented in the game and in casts. So they kind of work like tattoos or birthmarks, and you can kind of layer them over your Sim's body in different parts. You can have them on the face, arms, legs, back, front. Now you can't have like birthmarks and vitiligo markings like together because they're kind of like the same underlying technology. And something else that they mentioned in the article too was that like right now, like if a vitiligo like patch is like around hair, normally that does alter the color of the hair. They are working on that for a future, like maybe like a fix or update or maybe another XDX drop where it will actually impact the hair. There's no saying that they'll get that to work. Like it didn't seem like it was like guaranteed, but it is something they're like experimenting with and maybe trying to get happen. But I think that's really cool to have. So it's very nice. But one of the houses in the trailer was for the celebrity Winnie Harlow. So she was featured in the trailer for the XDX drop, and she had this like white house, and that's kind of where I got the inspiration for the garage doors because they use spa day doors. And speaking of that house, Maxis did share it on the gallery, and the problem is though they left it unfurnished, which I don't get. Everybody like in the comments of the build is so angry because it's like, why would you share the build unfurnished? Like there's no furnishings, but yet they did keep like the spa day columns, and like the vampire kit for some reason is still required. So like there's 2 packs that are required, but they didn't leave it furnished. I think it would have been pretty cool to have the furnished version, but I kind of also feel like the reason why they didn't do that was because maybe the house wasn't fully complete. Like they just kind of built the rooms that you saw in the XDX trailer, and that was it, kind of like a stage, if you will. So yeah, I kind of feel like that's the thing. But it's a very nice house, and I do actually want to furnish it. So I think that will be my next video. Just another fun house-related speed build, nothing for rent or anything. I do want to, again, return to for rent. Obviously, there's so many builds that like I want to do, like tiny house rentals and like industrial loft rentals and things like that. So I have a lot of different ideas floating around. I have a whole like note list on my phone where I keep kind of different ideas for builds. And even if you guys share ideas in the comments or different like feedback, I also notate it down, just like things to add to a build, like oh, my Sims, you know, like to have a home gym, or they need a spa or something. Like I do notate that down, kind of like features, I guess, to think about incorporating into a build. Now obviously sometimes some builds just doesn't work out, but I think in Winnie Harlow's house, when we do that, since the trailer had a like spa, I think I will try to incorporate a spa room in there. So we'll probably renovate it a bit too. I mean, I like that it's white, but they use like the base game like slats that are like vertical. And I'd much rather like to see it with like the bright white growing together like vinyl, like the siding, like the wooden siding. I think it would look much better in my opinion, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it turns out. That'll be a fun video to do. I'm hoping to get that started tomorrow. I do have a 3-day weekend this weekend, so maybe look out for that video someday during this week. So that'll be fun. But I don't know. It's nice to do a renovation. I've also been thinking about doing a shell challenge for March, the month of March. So if you have any ideas like for a shell challenge, or if you'd be interested in a shell challenge, do leave a comment below. I would definitely like to give it a go. I would like to like build my own shell, but then also kind of showcase your shells if you happen to be a builder and you watch my videos, or if you just like to furnish. I'm not sure. Actually, this is a great question. I was going to say, I'm not sure like if I should just do a blank like bunch of boxes. Some people do shell challenges differently. Like Maxis, for example, seems to do shell challenges where they'll like have the exterior done already, like landscaping and everything, and then you just have to like furnish the inside. Like the inside is just totally blank. Or it could be the whole thing. Like you can do the inside and the outside. So also let me know if you are interested in a shell challenge and doing one. Would you prefer to do the whole build, like inside and out, or do you just prefer to furnish? Because some people like to just furnish, some people like to do both. So, I mean, I like to do both, but I kind of like furnishing more and just kind of, I don't know, I guess, I like both. So yeah, do let me know what you'd prefer in a shell challenge. For at least the very first one, and we'll go from there, and then we'll showcase some of the builds on the channel. I'm not sure how yet. We'll figure that one out. But yeah, so this is Cobblestone Place. Again, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. My EAID is just TheSimified, so you can see the beautiful backyard. I actually like how like simple and clean and like big it is, but also just the landscaping is just very clean as well. You can see the double floor living room through the windows there, and this is the floor plan for the first and second floor. And then we kind of zoom around the house. This is the lovely living room. We zoom into like the main area showing like the kitchen dining room area. I love this photo. It's so pretty. I like the greenhouse kit windows. That's nice. And this is the garage. Fake debug car parked in there, and then you can see the functional hot water heater and electrical box, and kind of just zooming around the rest of the house. This is kind of like a pink themed bedroom. Little bit of high school years, a little bit of glamour. It's kind of a mix of stuff. And then this is using some for rent items for the main or primary bedroom. This is the primary bathroom, but the other bathroom on the other end of the second floor also looks pretty much exactly the same. I kept them kind of the same style. Then we have a telescope on the upper balcony and then a full dining table out the back there. And that's about it. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. And that's all I have for this video, but I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.